In this video, I'm going to give you 3 extremely rare stand-up comedy techniques. If you use these next time on stage, I guarantee you massive progression. Also, if you want to dive directly in and just get to the theory, I have timestamped this video so you can get into the chapters. And before I get to the theory, I want to say one thing. If you are already a working comedian and have footage of yourself performing in front of a live audience up to 10 minutes long, I would love to check out the footage. If you want to support the channel and have sent back to you a 30 to 40 minute long positive critique on your comedy, on all of the things you're doing correct and all of the options you have with new fresh ideas, drop into the description box and email me. I would love to hear from you and check out your footage. Alright, on to today's video. The first thing you're going to do, and this can be done next performance or in 5 performances time, but I do want you to give this challenge a go, is to perform your set as slow as you possibly can. Now, that doesn't mean I want you to slow down. I do want you to slow down because everyone watching this channel could probably benefit from slowing down a little bit when they're on stage. That's not what I'm talking about here. What I'm talking about here is next time you're on stage, I want you to exaggerate and speak so slowly that all you do is gain attention. Now, what might happen is no joke works. You absolutely stink the room out and a joke just doesn't land. Fine, you've gone through the worst your set can ever be. That will benefit you. If that's the worst it will ever be, well, now there's nothing to be afraid of because it's never going to be that bad when you go and perform at the normal pace again. Also, you're going to get used to the fact that if this is the slowest I can perform, this might be the most awkward vibe in the room I can create. Yes, I've ruined the night. Yes, I've ruined the set. But the open mic grassroots situation, it doesn't matter, and it should not matter if you ruin the set for yourself. It's about overall progression. And the only way to overall progress is to go through these extreme examples of being on stage because it's all experience in the end of the day. So yes, it's a stand-up how-to comedy channel and I'm telling you to die on your ass. Yes, die on your ass, because if you figure out now early on how bad it feels, it's not going to be ever scary for you again, and you can figure out how to make yourself nervous by writing better material, more exciting material. So step number 1, tip number 1, technique number 1 is next time you go on stage, I want you to say the entire set as slow as you can. In your own way, exaggerate it. Ruin it if you must. And maybe there might be something that works really well, because at the grassroots, it's not always about you entertaining and being funny in the room. The MC, as shit as they are, it's their job to pick the night up. And you're going to get someone else on the night that performs worse than you, even though they're trying. So how about try on just experiencing what that feels like and benefit from her later when you go back to performing normal. Tip number 2, which is kind of similar, only a little easier on you if you want to dabble in this one first. And this one is to add exaggerated long pauses in your set. So you have your set, you're saying it normal. It's going down okay. Some jokes need a little bit of work, some jokes are perfectly fine and could be a little bit better. Whatever. Doesn't really matter. Who gives a shit? What you're going to do when you have a setup or when you have a section of information, something that you do not consider to be a punchline, something that you do not consider to be a humorous observation. When you have a setup or a piece of information, you're going to add an exaggerated pregnant pause in there. And it might not even fit, but you're going to add it anyway. That way we can raise the tension and we can throw in a pause. And then we can start speaking again. Now, you might find if you do this for an entire set, I want you to put in as much as possible. For an entire set, you're just going to look back at them and then you're going. And it's almost like you're giving yourself a little bit of time to think of what comes next. I want you to do this even if you know exactly what comes next, because what it's going to do for you later on, it's going to benefit you in turning your stand-up comedy into a style of conversation. Because if you can stop and actually be there for the way the audience see you. It's almost like it's back and forth. It's going to benefit you hugely the next time you go on stage and not do this technique, because you're going to find, okay, granted you won't do exaggerated pauses, they may not be 6 to 8 seconds in length, but you might feel very comfortable now all of a sudden knowing you can do 3 to 4 seconds of pauses. And look at any of your favorite comedians. They don't continuously talk the entire way through their monologue on stage. You need to allow the audience a little bit of time to get on board with the pieces of information in order for their jokes to work. So by doing one entire set, maybe you do an entire 5 minutes where you throw in as many overly exaggerated pauses as much as possible, as long as possible, really dig your feet in and feel what it's like to have that tension and that silence and the tension building and everybody looking at you. It might even get a break of a little bit of laughter from the audience just to break some of that tension. And then you are the puppet master. You are playing with the audience. It's your time up there. Again, don't just follow the rule book and get to the end of your set as quick as possible. It's about playing with the audience at all times. Fuck them up if needed. Ruin the night if needed. It's your night, grassroots, it's open mic. That's when we can experience these things, because later on, at the pro level, you will not have the ability of doing this. And the third thing, and this I guarantee you is the most fun, and it's absolutely the most difficult thing maybe I've ever said on this channel in order to do. You are going to go up on stage and you are going to perform your material, but you are going to already have learnt off your set without saying any jokes. Without saying any jokes at all. The idea here, you're not going to make them laugh. That sounds absolutely terrible for a 5-minute set. And I'll say, yeah, it does. It's horrible. It's horrific. Knowing that you're 45 seconds into 4 minutes or 3 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever it is. I would say don't do this if you have 10 minutes, but then again, if you have 10 minutes, you're already past the 5-minute open mic stage and you should be on to different writing techniques. But if you have a 5-minute set, I would say 5 is the longest. Go on stage and don't make them laugh. Even if you don't follow your material, don't do your material. Just go up on stage and tell them what your name is. Tell them where you're from. Tell them a couple of stories about growing up that don't include any jokes. Just tell them as they are. Tell them that time when you had a date and it went all right, it went pretty good. You hope she rang you back afterwards and she didn't, or he rang you back afterwards and he didn't, and it just kind of fizzled away into nothing. And then move on to the next topic. Cover as many topics as you want. I'm always telling you to keep it simple. Don't cover many topics. Cover all the topics in the world. Get up on stage one time and just do not make them laugh. They're probably going to start laughing anyway at just your ability of whatever it is, if you're nervous or if you're communicating. And the best thing to do, if you want a bonus tip, is do all 4. Do all 3. 4 is the bonus tip. Do all 3. Go up on stage, talk too slow, add loads of really exaggerated pregnant pauses, and don't include any jokes. That is simply the absolute worst thing that can ever happen to you on stage. And you have 100% created that situation for yourself. So bring on the future. Like what could an audience possibly do to you now that you haven't done to yourself? There's nothing that can happen. You can fall off the stage and it's nowhere near as bad as delivering patter that is just, people are like, what is going on? That's my short rant for today, and I guarantee you it's one of the most important videos I've ever made, because those are the kind of things that's going to get you over the top and so confident for when you go, okay, that was fun, now I can go back to just being me and figuring out my path in this. And every now and then, certainly if you're doing a lot of open mics, every now and then implement one of these techniques in and keep it fresh. Keep reminding yourself, how am I feeling in the uncomfortable situation? Because if you're golden in the uncomfortable situation, then you are just bulletproof when you are delivering your normal set. Go and die on your ass.